The environmental monitoring team will often create a diagram of their facility and divide each area within that facility into zones. A common practice is to divide different areas of the facility into 4 zones based on risk. Zones may be based on areas, surfaces, or some other criteria. For example, Zone 1 might be comprised of all product contact surfaces and utensils. This is a high-risk zone, however, it has its limitations for sampling, as it is regularly cleaned and in constant contact with food or other product. So it may be best to pick a part of a product contact surface that is not always cleanable or easily seen, like the underside of the conveyor belt, for example. What we are trying to detect is how the surrounding environment might introduce pathogens to the product. So this zone might account for about 10 to 20% of all the sampling points. Zone 2 might be comprised of areas that are close to product contact surfaces. This is also a high-risk zone, but it is ideal for sampling as it is near the product and might provide insight into how pathogens could get to the product from the surrounding environment. The focal point in this zone, for example, might be on equipment areas that might capture food particles, but that are not easily seen or cleaned and sanitized. This zone might account for about 40 to 50% of all the sampling points. Zone 3 might be comprised of surfaces that are not close to product contact surfaces, but which might highlight any shortcomings in the design of the facility or failures in the hygienic practices of employees. This can include walls, floor drains, air handling units, doorknobs, portable equipment, or other high-touch areas like carts. This zone might account for about 30 to 40% of all the sampling points. Zone 4 might be comprised of areas found outside of the production area. This could include offices, locker rooms, maintenance rooms, break rooms, and so forth. If this zone is not clean, then it can pass pathogens to the processing area through foot traffic and transference of materials. This zone might account for less than 10% of all the sampling points. Once the zones are divided based on risk and a sampling plan is created for each zone, then the sampling can begin.